marqueefx.com. Today I'll be showing you how to make metal borders and signatures. First thing we did, we made a new canvas. We did 650 by 300. Normally I do 600 by 250, but I added an extra 50 pixels for the part of the border that's going to be sticking out of the sig. Okay, so we're going to use our rectangular Marquee Tool, which is right here. Select that. Now you want to leave a decent sized border around the entire canvas, but we don't want to cut out the middle section, which is what's selected now. So what you want to do is go to select inverse. So now you should see it looks like a picture frame. Right click on that area and before we do that, you want to make sure that the background is unlocked. So just hold Alt on your keyboard and double click the background layer, and you should see that lock disappear. Sorry. Okay, so now we're gonna right click on the selected area and go to layer via cut, or you can just simply hit delete on your keyboard and you should see a checkerboard pattern. That's the area that's gonna be transparent in the signature that you're making. Okay, so now that that's done, we're gonna make a new canvas that's gonna be our work area for when we make new metal pieces for the border. So we're gonna go to new. It doesn't matter what size canvas you use because you're not gonna be using it anyway for your actual artwork. But we do want to make the background slightly easier to see, so we're gonna make it gray. Actually, we're gonna make the background white. So we're just gonna use our paint bucket tool. If your background's already white, then don't worry about this step. Okay. So now we got our canvas. I understand it's a little inconvenient in this video because I have to zoom in for you to be able to see it. So I'm not doing a full screen video like I usually do. Okay, and now what you want to do is make a whole new layer to work on. So you're just gonna hit Control Shift N, and this should pop up, new layer. You can just leave it as layer 1. Okay. For the color, we want none. And for mode normal. Okay, so now we have our new layer. So now what we want to do is just make a custom shape. So we're just gonna, make any kind of, it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be very fancy. I'm using the polygonal lasso tool, which is located right here in your toolbar. I think the default is lasso tool. If you right click it, you can see the magnetic and polygonal. I use the polygonal for the custom shapes. Okay, so now you have your basic shape. Now we want to fill it. So you can just go to fill and just pick preferably a grayish color. So that it's easy to see. Okay, so we got our shape. You can just deselect it. Now we're going to use various tools to cut certain areas of the shape out. So we're going to right click on the rectangular marquee tool and use the elliptical marquee tool for circular cuts. So we'll just make a circle here. Hit delete on your keyboard. So we have the white background, this way you can clearly see where it was cut. You can even use the rectangular Marquee tool if you wanted to cut square patterns like that. Hit delete. You can also use the polygonal lasso tool to make cuts. Say you wanted to do a few lines or something. Delete. It doesn't matter if what your shape looks like outside of the shape, just because you're not cutting anything on the actual background, you're just cutting pieces of the shape that you're making out. We'll add a few more circles over here or something, just for time's sake. Okay, so you got a basic metal shape there. Don't worry if it looks slightly imperfect, because we made it, if you notice, we made it smaller than you'd normally want it for the canvas. And the reason is, when you start enlarging it and transforming it, it actually kind of hides the flaws, which is very nice. So we're gonna hit Control T so you can see what I'm talking about. So we're gonna stretch it out a little. You might want to make it a little skinnier, it's up to you. So I think that's a pretty decent size. What we're going to do is just drag this on. Sorry, hang on. We're going to use the move tool to drag this onto our actual canvas. So you can see. Let's say we want to put this up top. This might actually work better on the bottom. You can't see it now, but let's move this up. Okay, so you got your shape there. Now what we want to do here is go to layer options, or blending options, sorry. You do that by right clicking on the shape layer. Crap, it's still kinda. Blending options is right over duplicate layer. Okay, so you got your blending options. We want to go to gradient overlay, and for this we want to go to, it's the second box, it should be a checkerboard leading to, oh no, I'm sorry, it should be black leading to white. So we're just going to click that. And then for these options here, we're going to just lighten it a bit. Sorry. It takes lots of practice. You kind of have to play with it to get it just the way you want it. That looks pretty good. You're looking at this. What you're actually looking at is the square in the preview area. If it looks as like metallic as you want it, then just keep it like that. You kind of have to play with the gradient settings. So we're just gonna hit OK. By the way, I got there by double clicking the gradient box. So you click to edit gradient. If you just double click the box, it brings up this menu. And then what we also want to